G'day, it's Scott Picken. I'm a founder and CEO of Wealth Migrate. As a company, we're both passionate and purposeful about empowering 1 billion people. Now, people look at me like I'm absolutely crazy. We believe that there's 3 ways to do it. The first way is about empowering children, giving them access to entrepreneurial education. The second way is about empowering women. And the third way is by giving access to wealth opportunities for every single person through digital technology. But I'm here today to talk about Lemonade Day, because this is how we believe and how we know we can empower children with entrepreneurship education. About 3 years ago, I came across this organization, Lemonade Day in America. They're actually sponsored by Google for Entrepreneurs. They help over 250,000 American children every single year. They've got these awesome little workbooks. If you look here, there's the one here for the entrepreneurs, the students, and then there's one for the parents in terms of teaching them about business. You know, having built a global company on 5 continents, I can tell you that business is not that complicated. There's generally only 12 to 14 steps to be successful, whether you're running a Lemonade Day stand or whether you're running Google. And so what I was fascinated by, with my son being less than 5 years old, was how can I teach him these entrepreneurship skills? I went to America and I persuaded them to let us bring this concept to Africa. You know, it's so incredible. There's a lady here, this lady, B, go look it up, B Sweet. She literally came from the slums of America, and today this lemonade is in every single store across America, all the high net worth stores like the Woolworths of the world, and her entire family has been pulled out of poverty. But Peter, you and I actually have an even better story. We have a story from Africa. We did this, we were excited about this, and we decided to pilot this project here in Knysna. And in 2015 at the Oyster Festival, most of you have heard about the Oyster Festival in Knysna in July, there were a lot of people in town, and we went out and we started to train the children. Now, just before we get into the experience, tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you've come from a background of giving, you know, the round table and everything else that you do. What are you up to?
Thank you, Scott. I've been passionate about helping people and helping kids especially because as a youngster I didn't have financial experiences, I didn't have financial education, so I've basically had to teach myself everything. And I feel our education system is lacking, so I've made it my passion to go out and actually help kids get ready for the real world. One of which is I do it through the roundtable. I'm currently the South Cape area chairman, and through my network we have helped raise money for cancer research. We have helped kids with various projects, from helping them with illness recovery right through to their education. Now, I've been a member of the Roundtable for 12 years now, and on average, we help our communities in excess of 12 million rand a year. And that gives me so much joy to see the sparkle in the kids' eyes when we help them. One project in particular that stands out for me is when we, over Christmas, hand out Christmas gifts to the kids that don't have any parents. It takes that one child with that glow in the eye to just smile to you and say thank you. That makes it worthwhile. And I feel the more kids I can help in that manner, the better person I become.
But you know, Peter, what fascinates me, and where you and I got to witness this and experience this personally, is that you can give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but you teach him to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And I personally believe that if you can teach a child entrepreneurship training skills, if they can learn how to make 1 rand, $1, £1, 1 yen, their life, they can never be controlled by anyone. They can have the freedom to do whatever they want in their life. No school, no government, no university, no country can ever hold them back. And equally giving them the self-belief to go out there and do it. And you know, we witnessed it. We had 45 children here in Knysna. On average, they made a 200 rand profit per person, which is the equivalent of just short of $20 per person. We had some outstanding people that really put in effort. I mean, your daughter, tell us just a little bit, what was your daughter's experience basically?
Well, my daughter was 8 years old at that stage, and she came to me and she said to me, "Dad, I really like this. I think it was a Barbie bus that you really wanted to buy." And I said to her, "My girl, I haven't got it in my budget, so you need to make a plan. If you really want this, you've got to find a way to do this." So she landed up finding a car boot sale event where she sold excess toys that she doesn't play with anymore, and she made quite a bit of money, but it was still not enough for what she wanted. And when we heard about Lemonade Day, she came to me and she said to me, "Dad, I want to do this." Now, I tried not to direct her too much. I tried to let her experience it on her own. She stood the first day and sold 5 cups of pink lemonade. That evening she goes, "Dad, I'm not going to get my target this way. What am I doing wrong?" And I said to her, "My girl, you've got a couple of other kids selling lemonade. What can you do to be different?" And part of the program actually takes the kids through that process. She then landed up doing pink cupcakes and pink coconut clusters, and she walked away with earning herself a good 1,000 rand that weekend.
So it's over $100, just by the way.
Yeah. She was so inspired by that she now constantly looks for all sorts of ways where she can earn her own money. She comes to me with various ideas and asks my opinion, and I let her go off and explore them. And that is what Lemonade Day has done for her. It's now made her understand the value of money. Budgeting was a big thing for her. She now, every time with her birthday, when we say to her, "Okay, right, you've got a budget of X, that's all you can have to spend on your birthday party," she understands and she makes it work within that. So that's one of the joys of that. Constantly she comes to me and wants to know when is the next Lemonade Day happening, because she's already planning what she's going to do, what she's going to sell, how she's going to sell it, and what's going to make her different from all the other stands on the day.
Fantastic. And I know that you've said there's a number of other kids in Knysna that have come to you and said, "When's it happening again?" You know, for me, the hero of the environment was a little kid called Bongi. I'll never forget, on the first day arriving there, it was the biggest Lemonade Day thing I've ever seen. And like your daughter, he hadn't sold a lot of cups. And I remember saying to him, like, "Everyone else is going home, what are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm not going home until I'm finished." And I've yet, you know, very seldom do you see people with that amount of perseverance. You know, he went on to make 1,700 Rand profit, which, you know, is over $150. To put in perspective, his mom is a wonderful lady, a teacher. Sorry, not a teacher, a police lady. His father is a security guard. And at the end of it, he actually won the competition to fly up to Johannesburg to be our special guest at the Wealth Movement. And on the way there, he was telling me his dream, and that was to go to Oak Hill, which is a private school up here in Knysna. His folks couldn't afford it. And so we set ourselves a challenge, and we crowdfunded it through the Global Wealth Group and through Wealth Migrate and through all our amazing wealth partners. We crowdfunded it. We put him through private school last year, which is his first year of high school. This year he's at his second year. Our Medical 7 project is actually going to, as part of the purpose, our Medical 7 will complete the funding for him of this year. But I think really, Peter, this comes on to our request. You know, we've helped 45 kids. We've made a material impact in 45 kids' lives, but it's not enough. You know, for me, it reminds me of that story of the young man and the old man walking down the beach, and they're picking up starfish and they're throwing them in the sea. And the young man says to the old man, he says, "There's thousands of starfish on the beach. Why are you throwing, you know, that one in the ocean?" And he leans down, chucks another one, and he said, "It matters for that kid." And, you know, so people often get caught up in big numbers. So, you know, is 45 material? It's massive. We've impacted 45 kids' lives, but there's a lot more in need in this country. And I talk from the wealthiest kids to the poorest kids, because every kid needs entrepreneurship training. And so this is our request to you. We are launching Lemonade Day in South Africa in a big way. Peter, with all his experience in this game, is looking to take this on as a full-time responsibility. We've got the full-on support of the American division. They're supporting us. They're helping us set this up. They're helping us. We've done the pilot projects. We've worked out the costings. We know what works. On average, it's going to cost us about 325 Rand, or roughly $25 per kid, to be able to get them up. Now that means that we give them a bag, that means we give them all the coaching, that means that they're fully set up. They don't have to pay to get started, because we don't want money to stand in their way to their success, their self-belief, and ultimately their destiny and their future. So our request to you is that we are going to launch a campaign. We're going to be looking to raise R1 million. It's going to be in tranches because we don't need the full R1,000,000 up front. We're going to aim to do another 100 kids at the Oyster Festival here in Knysna, and then we're going to be rolling out through, hopefully, the round table in multiple different cities and towns across South Africa. And I've really got 3 requests for you. One is, donate to this. Sponsor a child. 325 Rand, and you make one child's life change forever. Sponsor 10 children at 3,250 Rand, and you change a kid's life forever. Or maybe even 100 kids. How much of an impact do you want to have on the planet? The second thing, if you've got children, reach out to us. Go to lemonadeday.co.za and get involved. And as parents, get involved, guys. I promise you, as parents, very few of you know about business, money, budgeting, and cash flow. And you might have the greatest corporate salary in the world. There's probably more information in this than the best MBAs in the world. And the third one is, guys, if you're a kid, come along and get involved. Come and have some fun. Learn what Peter's child learned. My son was 3 when he started doing this. I mean, they are destined for success when they've been learning about sales at that young age. So, really for me, get involved, guys. Jump on board. Help us. Every little amount counts. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. We've got a policy in our company of 1-1-1, which is 1% of revenue, 1% of equity, 1% of time. Our team is fully behind this. We're launching 0 to 1, which is the tallest building in Cape Town, one of the most iconic buildings in Africa. And the purpose behind that project is to sponsor this. But as I said to you, through the Wealth Movement, which is our whole empowerment division, we're going to be making sure that Lemonade Day is one of the 3 core focuses of success, because empowering children is the greatest way to succeed for any country on the planet. Our children determine our future. And so, Peter, I really, really value and thank you for your time. I thank you for your passion. I thank you for your purpose, and you're really wanting to drive this process. And really, I request everyone out there to get on board. Let's make a difference. Let's turn a lot of the challenges and uncertainties on this planet into positives. And we can do that by giving the children the skills of entrepreneurship and self-belief. Thanks very much. Peter and I signing out from Knysna. Get on board. Let's change the world.